After 6 months of intense research, online bridal makeup courses, countless product tests, and 4, maybe 5, full makeup trials on my sister, the beautiful bride-to-be, I am finally ready to show you the exact look I'll be doing for her spring wedding. This has been such a labor of love. I've learned what works, what doesn't, what lasts through tears and kisses, more importantly. Bridal makeup is about more than just looking beautiful. It's about feeling secure, timeless, and radiant from morning until that last dance. Today, I'm gonna walk you through the full makeup application I'll be doing on Nicole for her big day coming up here very soon, from skincare prep all the way to setting spray. Enjoy. So let's start with skin prep. It is the foundation prior to the foundation, basically. Here are 2 options that I love. My skin's very sensitive, so for me, I will use this today, which is the Naturium BHA Liquid Exfoliant 2%. My sister has chosen, though she used this at first, she's chosen to use Paula's Choice because this is clean, like 100% clean. I'm starting from scratch, you guys. Normally I'll come in with skin prep already and I'll have my eyebrows and like my 1 coat of mascara on and lashes curled, but I just wanted to show you everything that I'm doing for my sister's wedding. You just want to gently swipe this across the face and your lips. I've asked my sister because my sister has textured skin. It's subtle, but it's there, and since she's been exfoliating, it's been night and day. As far as do's and don'ts, do exfoliate the day before and the morning of if your skin is used to it. Now, if your skin's not used to exfoliating and you still have months down the road till you are saying I do, I would do it right away and get your skin used to it so that you're doing it maybe not daily, but like 2 to 3 times a week, like every evening. If you're doing a trial run or even on the day, I got these cute little strapless bandeaus, whatever they're called. They're like little mini sports bras. Wear white because then you'll really be able to tell as far as how much foundation or body makeup you need to put on your bride. If you come in wearing darker colors and it doesn't match your actual dress for your wedding, then the color match could be completely the opposite of what you need or just a shade or 2 off. And we want it to be, though there's no such thing, but we want it as perfect as possible. Next, I apply a skin serum. My sister loves this Caudalie skin serum, Vino Perfect. It's 100% clean. She also loves, though, Augustinus Bader. Of course, she's got expensive taste. The Essence. So you can use either or. I would say this is maybe a little bit cheaper. I love this. This stuff leaves your face feeling so refreshed. The scent is so slight, but it has lavender, that lavender scent. So if you don't like scents, I'd go with Augustinus Bader because his formula with everything, they have no scent in it. So I go down all the way to the neck area and I try to go up as far as like a little mini face massage goes. I think it's important to get your circulation just moving, right? And just waking up the face. My sister loves this stuff as well. It's Kosas. It's vegan collagen, peptides. It has all the things. Clean as hell. Ilia Milk Moisturizer. This is the base face milk. I love this stuff because it's moisturizing without putting moisturizer on. Anytime I use moisturizer, face moisturizer, lotions, even the best of the best, even the ones that the makeup gurus have recommended, I'm telling you, it doesn't work for me. The only thing that might work is Charlotte Tilbury's, her face lotion, I think is made specifically for under makeup. But even that, it doesn't last long. And we're trying to make this makeup last at least, what, 12 hours, 12 to 15 hours. So I just put some in the palm of my hand, press it into the face. It's so important. The vibe and the energy is calm and chill. Like I can't be like, oh my God, I'm so nervous in front of my sister, you know? During the trial run, ask your bride to be if she prefers music or silence, like really cater to her needs. And if you're doing your own makeup and you get stressed and you want to not be stressed on your wedding day. And let's say it takes you 3 hours to do your makeup the way you love it without stress. So plan for that. I think that's really important. Know what you need, know what you want, and make it non-negotiable. That was loud. I love to make sure my lips are nice and moisturized. For me, the best ever is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. I gave my sister the mango one. She's like, sorry, I looked on my app. She has an app that basically detects if the products are clean or not. It's not 100% clean, so she stopped using it. And I said, well, then give it back, girl. If you're doing your makeup and exfoliant is just a little too strong still after trying out a couple of brands, these are another great option. This is New Face, super underrated company, but this is New Face's Face Towelette Exfoliating and Hydrating Exfoliant Prep and Glow. One side of this is the exfoliant. It's a little rough, not like sandpaper rough, but enough to where you can get any excess like dead skin off your face. And the other side's a smoother. I would say this is like a makeup remover. It smells refreshing. It's not too scented at all. It smells like a spa in a little bag. Link will be below, but you can get this on Amazon. Lumify, another great underrated product, which I'm going to be doing a video on all underrated products that I use regularly and that I don't hear enough about, but stay tuned for that. Lumify, you can get this on Amazon as well. They really brighten up the eyes. Last thing we want is for your bride or you, the bride, to have red eyes in your pictures, right? Okay, so now for eye patches. I don't have them with me, but what I will have on my sister's wedding day is either Skin Iceland or Augustinus Bader's eye patches. For today, I'm going to be using Rare Beauty's Find Comfort Hydrating Under Eye Patches. So these don't slide down your face. They're not too gooey. They do brighten up your under eyes and they will hold in place while I do makeup. We don't want any residue coming down into that foundation and seeing dust on your cheek. My sister's gonna be working out prior to me doing her makeup. That is a non-negotiable, she said. My non-negotiable with her, though it ended up being negotiated, I needed 3 hours with her on her wedding day to do her makeup from top to bottom. The last makeup trial I did with her, she timed me, it took 2.5 hours. She goes, oh, you can do this in 2 hours. And I was like, don't you dare. Let's now frame the face. Eyebrows, Benefit's Brow Pencil and the Volumizing Fiber Gel in shade 3.5, okay? So prior to that, I curled her lashes first. This eyelash curler from the company called Surat. If you're of Asian descent and you also don't have a lot of eyelashes, this is like perfect for you. Not sure if it's just like the curve of it, but it really does get in there. I will scrunch it, not just hold it there. So I scrunch from the base. I always get nervous doing this on my sister because she doesn't have a lot of lashes and the last thing you want to do is pinch their skin. So just gentle and ask questions as you're going in there to curl the lashes. I'm going to be putting obviously fake lashes on, but I just wanted to show you. So I'm going to go in already with mascara. I like to build the mascara not to where it gets clumpy, obviously, but to where you start to see volume because it really does dictate, along with your eyebrows, the foundation of your face. And I know people find it so weird that I do my mascara prior to anything else, but it's because I'd rather mess up on a blank canvas than not. Using a different wand, a wand that is less clumpy and that is new. And I'm actually gonna bend it like so. That will help me get up into that root. This is the only mascara that is actually, I find, waterproof. Now, I wouldn't put this on daily, but for the actual wedding, yes. And just put one little layer, just so that you see your eyelashes turn black. And try and get every single lash if possible. And if you have to go in from the root like this, that's fine too. Brows. I know the saying, they're not twins, they're sisters. No. My brows, I aim for these two right here that you can barely see to be twins. I use a stencil because especially if I'm gonna be doing my sister's makeup and it's not just a casual look. So for my sister, she uses this brand Mad Love in 5, but for me, I'm gonna use Anastasia's Full Arch Stencil right now with my Benefit Cosmetics brow pencil. But before that, I'm gonna go in first with this brow gel that's tinted. I did this with my sister as well. Every step I'm doing, I did on my sister, so I don't have to keep repeating that. And I'm gonna lightly just feather out my brows. Ooh, too much. See? Look at the difference. I'll come back when my brows are done. They're basically twins. I'm so sorry. Thank God for the stencil. What I did on my sister's eyes was I first started out with NARS. This is NARS concealer in the shade Custard because I want to brighten the eyes, but also I want a clean canvas to work with while I'm applying her shadow, etc. I'm just going to carefully apply this under the brow and all over my lid. I do so by pressing into the skin. What has helped me recently that I've learned is when applying anything onto your face, instead of thinking that you're gonna apply on the face, think into the face. I'm gonna be taking it out towards my temples because the most of your eyeshadow is applied onto the outer corners of the eye. Okay, so this is what that looks like. Then without switching brushes, I'm going to use Rare Beauty's, this is the best. I've used every eye primer you can possibly imagine, and this is the only one on me that doesn't peel. If you are a bride-to-be, do make sure you please try out a few, not just one makeup artist, and do so in a matter of a span of a few months so that you can really sit with your makeup. What I wouldn't do is hire somebody that makes you feel maybe a little full of anxiety or stressed out. As important it is to have a makeup artist whose skill level is on a whole nother level and who does flawless makeup, what's even more important is how that makeup artist and that person makes you feel. If she is like chatty Cathy and you don't want that, maybe she's not the makeup artist for you on your wedding day. I have both concealer and primer on my eyelids and out towards my temples. I'm gonna go in using Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless Finish in shade 1. Stuff is great. And I'm not gonna just swipe, right? Like you just need to get the product in and on to the brush. And you wanna set your eyelids. Another do and don't is do bring lighting. I think especially in hotels, their lighting is disgusting. And even when you ask for extra lighting, they don't know what lighting you need, right? And they probably don't have it. So I'm actually currently, and I'll link it below, using LumiCube. I've used every company, you guys, and honestly, this is the best, the most sustainable, the lightest to carry around. Okay, so next I'm gonna go in with my Westman Atelier. This is a bronzer, powder bronzer, Coupe de Soleil, and I'm basically just gonna apply it into the crease and down my nose. I'm using a Makeup by Mario brush EF2. Another thing that I would do and make sure you have in your kit are straws. That's so important because for sure your bride is gonna wanna drink water, or for yourself, if you're doing your own makeup, they have to avoid drinking just like straight from the cup, because I don't know about anybody else, but when I drink out of a cup and I have lipstick on, it goes down to my chin. So go into the crease, and then I'm also gonna start framing the nose, and I'm gonna use that same bronzer just to start the contour. Now on to the fun part. This is a perfect wedding day, spring, summer palette. Natasha Denona's I Need a Nude palette. It's gorgeous. It has all the colors you need. I am actually going to be mixing her shadow and with the main part of the lid, I'm gonna use, because my sister loves the color rose gold, I'm gonna use Hourglass's Scattered Light Glitter eyeshadow, but I'm gonna do that very lightly later. First, we're gonna start with the color Wit, just like in a circular motion, and it really is all about the blending. Okay, so here is that. Next, we're gonna go in with the color Vague, which is right there. I'm gonna go in using a Rephr 14 brush, and I'm gonna work this color basically tightly into that crease. I just learned that if you bring it in all the way, it'll bring your eyes closer together. So if your eyes are naturally already closer together or not, then it just depends on your eye shape. I like to bring my eyeshadow in just a little bit, just like the residue of whatever I put in the crease, but I mainly focus just like halfway to where my cornea is on the outer part. But do not wear sunscreen. I don't give a crap. I'm gonna be extra strict, and this is a definite, you can't, okay? Flashback is a real thing when it comes to flash photography. Even if your wedding is during the day, it doesn't matter. Flash could still happen, whether it's a flash from someone's phone or a flash from a professional photographer. You can't control the person taking the picture. And at the end of the day, you do not want to filter your wedding photos. Like, you just don't. I wear sunscreen, don't get me wrong, but never before a red carpet event. It's one day, it's not gonna kill you. I know I might get a lot of crap for this, but it's up to you. It's your wedding day. Don't say I didn't warn you. If you're close with the bride, just be like, let's try and like not cry during this time, but obviously it's natural and it will happen. So make sure you have a plan for when your bride is crying. It's important that the photographer isn't all up in your grill either during the early stages of the makeup process. So if I were you, I would tell you the photographer, either one, you'll text him, maybe exchange numbers, or two, to come in. Let's say it's gonna take 2.5 hours to do the makeup. That's second hour, like 30 minutes left into the makeup process. He can come in and start taking pictures. So that's all blended in. This is what that looks like. I am going to use just the tiniest bit of the color Silhouette, which is that dark color right there. Not go all along the top line. I'm just gonna start right at the center of my eyelid towards the top line and just go out. And this is where, for sure, the eye patches really, it does help so much. Just show you first what this looks like. Okay, for brightness, I'm going to use the shade Fair from the same I Need a Nude palette by Natasha Denona. Press this using a rougher brush, 02, onto the lid. Once I do that, I'm going to blend it outwards and upwards. So again, you want to just think of pushing the product into instead of onto the skin. If you're going to have professional makeup artists there doing your bridal party, set everything up, like just plan it ahead of time. I had stations for everybody, and I think it's just my experience on television that like it just became so much easier when everyone was getting ready in another area and I had my own room or area, because it just gets really crowded. You know, I'm very sensitive to energy, so I just needed some peace and quiet. Don't ever hesitate to ask for what you want and need. It's your day. Look how pretty that is. Okay. I'm using Velour's. This is their self-stick lash kit. No glue needed. If you are using glue with the lashes, prep the glue now. Like, don't place the glue and then put the lashes on. You want the glue to almost dry out completely prior to applying. I'm gonna go in with Hourglass's Reflect Scattered Light eyeshadow, and lightly, because we don't want the flash from the photography as well to like reflect off of this onto my lid where I put the shade Fair. So you just want to lightly dust it. I don't know if you can see. It just has that like shine, that really pretty sparkle, but not overbearing. Next, I use Makeup by Mario's Deep Brown Eyeliner. I love this. It's great because it's like a gel liner. However, it dries quickly. Get up in the waterline, and then I'm gonna draw a tiny wing basically on each eye. I'm doing one eye at a time, and then I'm gonna smudge it out immediately. Okay, now here's what I have so far. It's time to apply Self-Stick Velour Cluster lashes. I love these. My sister loves these because they're very light. 3 little clusters on each eye. Good little trick here that I do if my tweezers get stuck because of the self-stick. It's quite sticky. So like if my tweezers feel sticky, I just dip them in, any loose powder will do. I don't put a full strip of lash. I just like to accentuate just the outer part. You want to aim for the waterline, but you're not sticking them onto the waterline. If you aim for the waterline, it'll naturally move up a little bit onto your root of the lash. So there we have it. I don't even put another layer of mascara on just because it doesn't need it. You don't want your lashes to be clumpy. You just want them to look as natural and open as possible. Finally, we now take off these amazing eye patches from Rare Beauty. She loves Gucci Balm. This is amazing for if you have fine lines under your eyes, crease area around the mouth. This is perfect for a smooth finish. We'll use my finger. Obviously, if this is something that you're doing on your client, then you should definitely use a Q-tip or even like a little spoolie. Tap it into the skin, starting with applying it under my eyes so that the concealer can be as seamless as possible. Around my nose, because I really get dry there. Highly recommended primer, especially on your wedding day when you're getting photos taken. Smashbox, the original photo finish, I put a tiny, let me emphasize, tiny amount. Use my fingers only, okay? So I think that's important. Press it in, don't rub it back and forth. But like when I say tiny, like a pea size, that. Onto the T-zone. Oh, and if you want to put eyebrow gel, now would be the time to do it. I used, as you guys saw, the Benefit Cosmetics tinted gel, so I'm not going to put any. Putting more primer onto my neck. I tend to be darker on my chest than my face, and for those that are the same, you want to match your chest, not your face. For foundation, I'm using Dior Backstage Face and Body. This foundation, though it may look, first impressions, like it's super cakey, it's not. My sister loves it and she likes the no makeup look, like to the next level. You can definitely apply this if you want more coverage. However, you can, with a light hand, still have that beautiful light finish. I always like to buy my foundations in two shades, one that's lighter, one that is a little bit darker, because this is how I like to apply it. So first, I just dot my T-zone using the lighter shade. With my ring finger, I just dab the product on. My nose has not been taking foundation lately. Mature skin, definitely. I've never had that issue before until recently. And then with the darker shade, I'm going to focus that more on the circumference of my face. I just need to, I'm going to try to avoid as much as I can my under eyes and just leave that as blank as possible and wait for the concealer application. For the fun part, we're going to blend, and we're going to do so with one of my favorite foundation brushes, Nikki LaRose's N17. I'm just going to press gently. So if you want the foundation, the amount of foundation that you have applied onto your face, and you want that same amount without taking any off, you press. If you want to minimize it and you may have just overdone it, you swipe. Okay, so here is the foundation. If you feel like you put on a little too much, which I did, I went in with a sponge. I got this from Refer, tapped it, blended, but I never swiped. Next, I'm gonna apply cream bronzer, and I'm gonna apply it as if I was applying contour. Chanel La Beige. This is in shade 0602. It is right here on my palette. You wanna warm it up on the back of your hand. Okay, you don't want this like large, muddy looking thing resting onto your face. I like to start my contour on my cheeks, but I do so still on the cheekbone and not directly under it, because then it becomes very low. You just want it at the bottom of your cheekbone. Do not do any type of chemical peel, facial, if you're not used to it. And don't for sure do chemical peels, regardless if you're used to it, days before your wedding. You can get that done like a few months prior, just not to try anything new when it comes to beauty. Okay, so I have the contour under the cheeks, into the temples, my head, jawline, and I wanted to show you what it looks like when I lightly contour my nose. I like to basically start at the very top of the nostril, or like maybe the center, and then just go straight up into the brow line using tapping motions. Very light. For me, barely see it, but I've got honestly bronzer dysmorphia, like tan dysmorphia. I've put tan on my body my whole life, so I never think I have enough. But this is what I did on my sister, so that's what we're gonna do. Luminous Silk Perfect Glow Concealer. This is in shade 5. So I'm gonna add a little bit on the corner of my eyes, inner corner, just a little dab there. I'm using the residue of what was on my finger initially. So it's between the eyebrows and go up from my corners of my mouth. I'm gonna go up towards the ear in a diagonal, straight line, just a little bit here, just to really accentuate the contour I did under the cheek. I'm gonna blend this in and I'll show you what it looks like after. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I put a tiny bit, as you guys saw my application, I'm gonna put a tiny bit of Rare Beauty's brightener and apply it a little bit under the eyes for more of a brightening effect. Next, we're gonna apply creamed blush, and surprisingly enough, my sister, who hates pink anything, loved Rhodes Pocket Blush. This is in shade Piggy. So this is the cream that I applied on her cheeks. I didn't tell her. I didn't even let her look at the color because I knew she was gonna clap back. So, but look at that color. This is, I mean, if this isn't pink, I'm not sure what is. So it's a really beautiful finish, and it's super hydrating, actually. Now, I don't love all of Rhode Beauty's products. I bought way too many lip liners, but their pocket blushes, amazing. Here comes the fun part. We are gonna apply highlighter, and I'm going to use, I really truly believe this is a great investment, and I'm not just saying that. Both the highlighter, Dior's new bronzer, this is called Dior Forever Nude Bronze, and this is Dior Forever Glow Luminizer in shade 1. This is shade 30. This is worth the investment. Okay, so I'm gonna just go on the top of the cheeks. Don't wanna do too much, because again, think about the flash back of the photography. Okay, look how beautiful that is. We want to avoid the center of the nose, so we don't want to highlight that, but we don't want to avoid like in between the brow area. It's beautiful there. I'm going to use my ring finger. I'm going to just highlight just the arch, just at the very arch, like the top of the arch, but on the brow bone. Don't bring the highlighter all the way down. Just this little hint, though I would like to bathe in it, but that's not possible. A finer, pointier brush, preferably. But I do love a good highlight. And the tear duct, I extend it out to the bridge of the nose, basically, because it's a beautiful shine. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Oh, God. The next step is to use loose powder. Before doing so, though, you want to make sure all the creases, wherever you get creased, for me, it's the under eyes and around the mouth area, is as smooth as possible before setting anything. I'm going to put Prism Libre Givenchy loose powder in the number 3. And I know this is intimidating for a lot of people. It was for me too, but all you need to do is just mix it all into the palm of your hand. Doesn't matter the color. You just want to get, if you can, all 4 colors in the palm of your hand and warm it up. Nikki LaRose's N14 brush, and I'm just gonna warm it up like so. I am going to try and do this with only the 2 arms and hands that I am blessed to have. We're going to start with the under eyes, because I can feel it. It's creasing as I speak. Look down. Again. Just tap it into the skin. Okay, I can breathe now. Okay, so you see what I did there? You want to tap off the excess powder until you no longer see powder come off your brush, because you don't want an overload of loose powder or any type of powder, especially under those fine lines or on top of those fine lines, because that will for sure cake you out. Okay, so across the head. down the nose. I'm going very light with my hand. Like, notice how I'm holding the base of the brush, barely putting any pressure onto my skin. You want to, of course, you like the glowy look and it looks great in person, but it does not, I'm going to repeat this one more time, does not look good in photographs at all. It just looks like you're sweating. You look sweaty. So you want to make sure that you cover that. Okay. And especially the mustache area, you definitely don't want a sweaty mustache. It's not cute. Now, where you can leave shine is definitely the high points of the cheek. Okay, where we're going to also include highlighter as well. So you see that? This is why this powder is so good, because it's finely milled. Look at that, like, really beautiful shimmer. I love a shimmer, as you know. I don't mind this at all, but it already leaves that glowy residue on your face. Next, I'm going to apply bronzer. I'm going to use a different bronzer. I'm going to lightly apply on the bottom lash line, just like I did with the first step with the eyeshadow. Really make sure to take off any excess product. Like, if you still see dust, then you need to continue tapping it out. Then we're going to go back to the I Need a Nude Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette. So I'm going to start with Wit first, and then I'm going to move to Vague. Dust is gone. We can apply under the eye. Do have somebody take care of, like, the steaming of your dress. You don't want to worry about any of this. You need to assign jobs for your wedding party. Now I'm going to use the darker brown, which is the Silhouette in the same palette actually, and also apply that a little, tiny, little bit, okay? I'm going to focus more on the outer corners, like maybe go about a quarter in, not go all across my whole eye, because when you put anything dark under your eyes, it just makes your eyes a lot smaller than they are. Next, we're going to do Coconut Eyeliner, Sephora Long Wear 12-hour colorful crayon. We're going to put this in the bottom of the waterline. Don't use white, use beige, preferably Coconut Sephora eyeliner. Like so. Woo. Look how much that opened. Look at the difference. This looks amazing in pictures. It just really opens the eye, makes you look alive, and just has this like sultry effect to it, I've noticed. This is my sister's lip combo. Don't tell anyone. She loves, and who doesn't, Wherever Walnut. Makeup Forever makes this in color Pencil Extreme, which I think is long lasting, I'm pretty sure of it. Beautiful color. Along with Ilia's, actually, Banquet Lip Sketch Hydrating Crayon. So it acts like a lipstick. And she loves Like Her Big Sis. Olive Refi's, this is tinted lip gloss. It's very light, but it just keeps your lips hydrated, along with this cooling effect of the metal head, which I'm about to show you. This is a new technique I just learned, actually, because I'm also taking online courses. The center of your nostril is like where you started back contour. You're just going to make 2 dots, a little bit above the lip. And again on the other side, symmetrical as much as possible. Midway down, but onto the lip. Side the lip. And then you're just going to connect the dots. Straight line from here to this dot. Trust the process. And then you're going to do a straight line from this dot to this dot. Meet in the middle. Look at how easy that was. We're going to go in with Ilia's Banquet everywhere. I would say get a lip brush, but you really don't need it, except for the gloss. Next, we're going to put on my favorite gloss and my sister's fave. That's the one thing we do have in common. This is in shade Blush. I'm just going to put a little bit. Actually, I'm going to use my finger because that always makes the application a lot smoother. And that's it. Just kidding. Setting spray. Using Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. And I'm going to spray quite a bit. And we're going to close the eyes and keep them closed even after I'm done spraying.
Okay, gonna fan it out a little bit.
And that's a wrap, folks. The full bridal look I'll be doing for my little sister on her wedding day. After all the trials and learning curves, this look really does feel soft, glamorous, and timeless. Perfect for a spring or summer wedding, and definitely perfect for my little girl. If you learned something today or just enjoyed the process, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And of course, please send my little sister some love in the comments. It's almost her big day, so let the wedding day countdown begin.